This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. What a move in the market. Congratulations to everyone who has been trading. I'm going to remind you this is not intended for live trading. 8 to 10 second delay. And guys, we handle securities. Why do we do that? Only to the extent we're going to bring it over into our Bitcoin trades. So let's talk about the open in New York. This is London, former hedge fund owner, private non-SEC, not financial advice. Let's dig into the details. Now, in terms of the big moves, the big guys, the rain did come in on Tesla. Glad we did that follow-up stream just so that you can see the technicals in play. It's going to be very instrumental, okay, in terms of Tesla and where we're at right now. We're pushing and grinding up. The 50% entry was the entry to have on Tesla. We did that, I'd say, the refresher, okay? The 20% move right now. We're pushing into and up above some difficult patterns. We do have a specific target to the downside. I'm going to discuss exactly, guys, the exact framework that we're looking at as Tesla has opened up into our specific golden short line today on the specific 4-hourly. In terms of relaxing just a touch, relaxing a touch on the entirety of the speed which we got yesterday, I'm going to let you know you have an upside target, a gap fill at 242.44. Absolutely, 242.44. That's the, guys, that's the target to the upside. We have a target to the downside as well. Yesterday was just grinding along. I want to put this in context, okay? When it looked like we were about to break out before the CPI hit, we're going to give Tesla the tip of a hat, okay? We're going to give Tesla that tip, that nod of the hat in terms of providing us this beautiful framework to say, hey, it looks like Tesla's about to launch to the upside. Now, she's been a little bit difficult. You'll see that on the 30-minute, for instance. The bears have taken control of some momentum indicators. With that said, she just hasn't wanted to give up. We were thrown in a position yesterday. I want to discuss this. We're going to apply it. Guys, why would we cover this? To apply it to our Bitcoin trade. We're going to see a par on par. Just a really nice demonstrable here between Tesla and Bitcoin. Let's dig into that. Nice to see the framework established. As we were to look at the specifics in play, let's consider, for instance, and we're going to have two of these expansions. Let's look at the expanding volatility equations that are in play in terms of the out, up, and over. More importantly, aside from that, I want to consider the following. Please pay attention on Tesla. This is hugely important, okay? Not just for Tesla, guys. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about Tesla, right? In terms of the specific that we would be looking at. Look at the specific lower side grab with that parallel channel carry up to the line of resistance. Tesla has thrown us at a midpoint here. Now, if you entered here on the 50%, I will say this. You were thrown into a situation where, yes, we have a target to the downside. Yes, we still have a target to the upside aside from the specific gap to fill, level of resistance across the top. So this is going to be an upside target. You got it right. This is going to be an upside target. And what do we have, guys? We also have a downside target. So given the profit that was created, given the fact on the 4-hourly, if you chose and you said, hey, you know what, I got to tell you, we're up and over, pay attention. We are up and over, for instance, a specific rising wedge. Maybe I just want to short this thing and see if I can get a hit back upon this, either this inverse head and shoulder, this rising wedge, anywhere along here like Tesla. Can you play ball for the bears just a minute? Maybe. Now, I was looking at a differentiator here in the markets. I wanted to see some sort of a tangible big change in the fundamentals for Tesla. That's what I was personally looking for. It's like, has something drastically changed? We got a new Cybertruck factory going up in China to meet the overall global demand for Cybertrucks. Something significant. I know they got a launch date together, but I was really looking for something that was significantly tangible in terms of a justification for nearly immediately moving to this line. So, caught in between the crux, what I want to say is this. Having noted such, if you've decided to take profits, whatever you've decided to do, let's bring this over as we look at the top line threshold and understand one thing. With this level of a pattern in play, were we to get, and if and when and to the extent we can get on this type of pattern, guys, if you don't trade Tesla, don't worry about it. Pay attention to the pattern dynamics. We're about to apply it directly to Bitcoin, and this will reinforce why we look at Tesla in the first place. It's just a perfect lead in for the move we got this morning on Bitcoin. Pay attention. Move to the upside, downward sloping channel. Bull flag, correct? Yes, we expect the repeat of the flagpole. Absolutely. Now, as we look at that move yesterday, our question is, can we get into this hot zone? Can we get into this zone before retracing here? If we're in limbo, we've got a direction to the upside, let's say a target rather to the upside, a target also to this downside, what do? I would tell you, we have one part of the equation played out really well. True or false? This pickup played out beautifully. Okay, great. We also know that if we are to get in this green box from a level of probability, I just tell you this is going to be a monster mover potential in the market. A bull flag like this is going to get the attention of anybody in the market who knows what they're doing, really on any asset that has a wide distribution in terms of its prominence, right? So as we were to look at this, for me, the critical concern is this. Great, good pickup at the 50. Guys, we could head either direction at this point. My main consideration is what? I want to get in this green zone. I want to go green on this big pattern, and guys, we liked some profit yesterday. We just did. I don't like the fact it's like I've got a target here, I've got a target here. To the extent that you plan for such here, and your entry here includes a weekly and then a monthly consideration in terms of the structuring of your trade entries at this level, congratulations. But aside from that, I reinforce that all the time. Do you have a flash trade? Do you have a daily trade? Do you have a weekly trade? Do you have a monthly trade, right? The weekly you could have taken with the monthly to potentially carry. But aside from that, given the fact that we have some confliction here, we don't have that confirmation. Let's look at, first of all, I would just serve as a reminder here, this specific green zone it's gonna attach as much attention to it that this did down here, okay? So in terms of the opportunity, if you have a split decision by the umpires, no one can make up their ring, there is no champ in the ring, we're just gonna note that, okay? We're gonna note that and attribute that to Tesla. We're gonna compare this to what? We're gonna compare this not only to the preceding flag that traded, and it would just be dynamic. It would really operate against the principles of Elliott Wave, by the way, to have another strong impetus move here, this strong, larger bull flag to the upside. I'll discuss that in some more detail, but this is what I want to discuss. I want to take this specific move here. I want to bring it into the foray, into the specifics. This move here, all right, from the level, bottom support, up to potentially a level of resistance, I want to apply it to Bitcoin. Let's pay attention to exactly how Tesla worked out yesterday. If you traded, I'm sure you did well. You're probably doing well long before you ever showed up here. Now, on Bitcoin, what did we run into on Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin gave us the same formula. Guys, the same exact formula. I don't know that I can bring this chart down. If I can, I'm going to be impressed, and I can. That's impressive. Nice job, nice computing power. Now, what are we looking at? Now you get it, guys. Now we are looking at a pickup at a bottom line support on Bitcoin. We're at a mid-level function. What's our top level resistance hit target on Bitcoin? You guys see why we focus on Tesla, why we focus on equities to get that pattern dynamic, the hit, boom, to the upside. What happened literally within 24 hours? Boom, boom, same specific on Bitcoin. We had the same channel formation in play. Where is our expectation and what is the dynamic that we're presented with right now? Well, do we take profit? It's the same question presented to you. Now, this is going to be part of the solution potentially. You just made money from here to here, true? Yes. Where's the hot zone, guys? Where is the hot zone? Let's look into this and then I'll dig into another few details, not as involved right now. As Tesla just continues to go up, it's fine. If Bitcoin continues to go up, it's fine. We'll analyze such in terms of correlation. But what's the real issue that we're going to be looking at? My critical concern, you can do what you want to do in here. It's fine. It's great for swing trading. It's great for flash trading. In fact, if you decided to take profits here at a level of resistance, this can be your, guys, your time to shine in terms of like, how good are you? Okay, if we're to trade this as opposed to a lower level, stronger, bigger entry, as you're going to look at it, well, that's a bigger entry. This is going to pay more. I don't want to release it. Can you operate in this zone for more than you carried from here to here? I'm just going to challenge you on that. With that said, what is our go zone? This is going to go over just perfectly into Solana. We're going to talk about Solana, one of my favorite cryptos that we like to trade. In terms of the details, I'm going to have a green zone on Bitcoin. Now, before then, I'll probably have an over-under. Okay, we had an over-under at 37.5. True or false? True. 37,500. That was my over long under short level for Bitcoin. You guys know that. Let's draw that out real quick. 37,500 was my over under, meaning if we were over 37,500, I wanted to be bullish. If we were under 37,500, I wanted to be what, guys? I wanted to be bearish. I wanted to be short under 37,500. I wanted to be long over 37,500. Guys, that was a 7% move to the downside. Okay? So to the extent that you would have said, hey, well, I remember we had a preceding level at 35,000. Yes, from the 37,500, well, I got an update. I'm going down to 35, and that's my new over-under. That's my new line to own. Bearish under, bullish over, boom, bam. This is nice, guys. This is, you think swing trading. Hey, everyone likes to think we're swing trading. This is swing trading. True? Yes, let's redefine it a little bit. Very nicely done in terms of the range parameters, very nicely laid out between the 37,500 and the 35,000. Very nicely done. Redefining a little bit the scope of what is a swing trade. Bam, bam. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Now, let's dig into the details. We've gone through the, let's just talk about the confluence, okay, the coordinated event here with this specific downward sloping channel. Fact. We've extracted that from the specific Tesla flag, essentially the flag move up and downward sloping channel. We've identified a green hot zone. Great. We are of course open to trading without a doubt any type of a specific. And did we fill the gap? Let me get rid of all of this. It'd be nice to fill the gap. Where are we at? And I think we're just on the cusp of, yeah, we technically did, guys. Congrats to anyone who held through and filled that gap. What I will say is, as we look at the opportunities, the trade-offs, when you're split directionally, what can you do? If you choose to take the sure thing, let's say you're risk averse, for whatever reason, you need to put cash on the table. You need to leave it on the table if it's on the table, and you need to make sure that you can go home with it if it's on the table. Period, guys. If you're risk averse to that extent, and it's like, well, we're pushing up into maybe a lesser percentage probability, fine. You want clear cut patterns, you want higher probability trades, good. Can you find a repeat trade within the skill set of what just demonstrated it to you? And ideally, this is the kicker, ideally, can you find the repeat trade? Tesla trades at a certain, let's say within a certain dynamic, okay? It does. As we were to look at, and I'll say in terms of leverage, okay, ability to capture a percentage multiple of a standard move that it will make, or a move that it will make on spot. Looking at Bitcoin, we know that we can magnify the move on Bitcoin quite a bit more. So while we're looking at a differential, which yes, it could spurn us a bit towards, hey, don't force me into a split decision here, Tesla. I won't appreciate it because I'd really like to carry this all the way up through the bull flag. Now, we have a re-engagement zone to the extent that we want to fulfill this. In the meantime, while Tesla decides exactly what it wants to do, will it encourage me personally to say, well, why don't we go throw some gas on the fire over here? Let's start up this fire over here in terms of Bitcoin. Boom. Exactly. We have got a threshold entry, 35,000. We have an expansion here. Is there a possibility I can pick up in this zone maxed out at 4.5%? Well, Tesla, sure, you're going to burn me really at a multiple level or a leverage level unless I compound cash into it at literally probably 10 times the amount of cash. Bitcoin's going to take the cake in terms of the move that Bitcoin is going to make. So I either have to compound 10 times the amount of cash into a position, literally 10 times the amount of cash into something like Tesla, or I can hang out, work on my high precision trades, and really create a dynamic move here that no one has anything to complain about. So if you're shifted away from a trade or an asset at any point in time, do not go away with your head hung down. Do not go, oh, it still went up and I got out. Yeah, get used to that. The more important issue is what? The more important issue is, where can I immediately deploy my cash now? Where can I immediately, and how effectively can I deploy my cash with something that could have an increase, let's just say a higher beta, if you want to talk about some advanced terminologies, but what is going to be more volatile for me? I want a consistent, highly liquid, volatile asset. I want more beta. I'm fine with Tesla. You're cool. That's fine. No problem. Great patterns. No issues. But while you're going to frustrate and you've got a lack of confirmation, I want to know what? I want to know where I can redeploy my cash immediately now at a multiple to create more of a gain, preferably with lower risk, with a lower risk profile would be ideal, right? So I'm going to tell you this, where's the green zone? Bottom line, don't give up on Tesla. This could be a monster move. Can you trade it from here? Absolutely. Is it something to look forward to? You betcha. We're going to look forward to it. I don't want to discount such a beautiful pattern in the market, much less something that if we focus on it can front run. It can front run as it just did today. Bitcoin. This move from a lower level of support in the same issue, can we get into that green go zone on a less favorable bull flag, just a move to the upside, downward sloping channel. So we do have some differentiation there, but that channel line pickup, a boom to the upside. Now, let's pay attention. Let's dig into Solana. You guys want to talk about Solana? Here we go. Now, this is something we'll cover very quickly. It's one of my favorite investments to trade. It just is. Looking at the details on Solana, let's look at the bull flag that we scoped out and have been looking for. Guys, all kinds of bull flags in the market. It's going to be a question of what do you want to make money on, essentially. What's going to be attached to your profile, attached to you. I just say, guys, you're trading CV if you were to have one. Is it going to be a big day and a big week for a bunch of small alts, or is it going to be a huge week on a really solid investment? I would prefer the latter for you guys. Anyone can go make a bunch of money on some smaller altcoins. Anybody can, guys. Anybody can. I want to see you guys involved in the very best that you can find. Solana is up there in terms of utility, in terms of just a decently well composed. It seems a decently well composed technology and reputation. Looking at the move to the upside here, the downward sloping channel, the specific over-unders. Now, I'll remind you that we came into kind of a blackjack feature with a grind upon here, but really recovery into a specific bull flag that started just to look really nice, okay? In and along this level here, we had a bit of a push into a Fibonacci level. Let me see, I won't get rid of all of those, but a bit of a push into a Fibonacci level, which acted as a pickup there after a breakout, bam, to the upside. This is gonna be your question right now on Solana. I tell you most of the times, if you're up about 10% from that max, I'll tell you this. Most of the times what I say to people, and it sounds like over-promising, it's not that at all. If you understand the whole rationale of what I'm going to say, it's not about whether or not you're going to make money in the markets. It's not a question of whether or not you're going to make money in the market. Most people think that it is. The real question in the market, and just take this to consideration, the real question in the market is how much money you're going to make. That is going to be, hey, Luke, my man, what's going on? Luke, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for shout out in the chats. Canada in the house. Luke, way to go, brother. What's going on? Nice to see you. Sorry, my phone just came on. Just got that text. Sorry for the delay. As we were to look at this, and Luke, you're the specialist at finding the bull flags. You probably saw a couple in the back there. If you see any more, guys, Luke is the guy to find the bull flags. By the way, he can find them. So he's like, sure, that's my job for the day, right? We'd love to see your chart work. Love to see any of your chart work. Now, this is gonna be the issue. We have got one fly in the ointment, okay? And I'm gonna talk about that, and it's going to literally show you why I say all the time, it's not about whether or not you can make money in the market, it's about how much, okay? Now, we identified this clearly, bam, nice entry, boom. It's doing the same thing that Tesla did yesterday. It's like, do we have a downside target? Yeah, technically we do, right? Reconfirmation hit here after a flat lateral short entry. Let's call this a lateral short entry, lateral to the side, boom. Direct on target hit, and to the extent that you covered your upside exposure with either a flat short, a straight short, right? I would just say like literally the same amount of money put into a short to lock in your profits. That's a nice strategy. It's a very nice strategy to lock in profits to the extent that you went heavier with this lateral short, and you've made more money now that we've gone down. All right. I'll just encourage you to be reasonable on that approach. Okay. In terms of how much heavier you may want to go above. All right. To the extent that you have a way of affecting the market. We don't want your orders to affect the market. In terms of liquidity, right? We're going to pay a lot of attention to issues like liquidity, which is why I prefer to see you trading things that are liquid. If you get into a whole host of illiquid items, guess what? Every button you push is going to press the price the other way. And 99% of the traders have that phenomenon that it's like whenever I push a button, it goes the other direction. Well, welcome to an illiquid market. Okay, so when you're looking at all of these fun hot shop coins, it's just that's just a hallmark of a illiquid market. Even your small orders affecting the price book, guys, affecting the price action. It's not what we want. So, in terms of the dynamics, you make money, we got a nice pattern. You make some money, yes. Now you made money, is it enough money? Right? Where are we headed? You got to know where we're going. First of all, always understand preceding pivot is a natural level of interest. Capiche? We agree, right? Preceding level, lateral engagement. Preceding level, lateral engagement. Preceding level, lateral engagement. Now, this is the fly in the ointment. You will rarely find, and we discuss the specific lacks of confirmation for what reason, so that we can identify when we have full confirmation, is the bottom line. When are we just gangbusters, just roll at it, just throw heavy at it, let's go? When are we like that? When all the systems, everything is just pointing in the right direction, right? When everything's pointing in the right direction. In the same direction, all cross time frame, all cross indicators, when the stars are aligned, and it's time to shine, guys, when it's time to roll. Looking at the framework here, and this reminds a little bit of the hitch that we had recently on the NASDAQ, true? Just a touch. It reminds just a little bit of that NASDAQ. You got it right. That NASDAQ in along this line. Congrats to anybody who might be trading. I don't know, guys. I don't know who might be trading, but congrats to anybody who might be trading the NASDAQ. We've covered that. Congratulations to everybody who picked up on that and has made some cashola. Nice. And that goes out to any of the Morgan Stanley guys included that may have gotten this from me or otherwise. So looking at the preceding lateral, boom, 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 bam. You see, though, after the breakout, we had some reconfirmation, which we don't have on the Solana, and bam, we're up and out. Gap underneath. From the breakout right now, you have to say you're at 4.89%, and we're almost at a preceding pivot again. All right, so why are we looking at the NASDAQ? First of all, it's the tech sector. We appreciate the tech sector and opportunity to include our cryptos in the tech sector. We don't care about the S&P. Bottom line, we don't care about the Dow Jones. We just don't. People who refer to the S&P as a leader for a market catalyst for crypto, they're uninformed. The technological index, tech-based index, is what we will refer to. That's just what we do, guys. That's what we do, okay? So to the extent that you're focused on something else that is irrelevant, I just don't want to see you personally do that, and I've repeated that before. So to the extent that you need a refresher on that, there you go. There's a refresher. So preceding bit of an interaction on NASDAQ. Preceding bit of an interaction. And guys, I want you to know I want you to look like you know what you're doing. That's the bottom line. It's the tech sector. It's a crypto. It's a tech sector. What's in the tech sector index? NVDA. Okay. All the guys, your Magnificent Seven, your advanced technology, your crypto, that's in the NASDAQ. I want you to know, I want you to look like you know what you're doing. I want you to know what you're doing, okay? Looking at it's not that any of you don't. I know you have style and preference in terms of trading. I respect that to a degree, as long as it's generated in-house by you, period, okay? As long as it's generated in-house by you, no problem. If it's generated out of the house, outside of your house, or outside of here, go trade with them. Don't trade with me. Don't trade with us, period. Case closed. I don't care if you trade $1 billion a year and you want to use someone else's TA other than your own or ours. Go trade with them. I could care less, guys. I could care less. Ask how many people from BlackRock or JP Morgan or otherwise I've kicked out of VIP. I could care literal less. It's not an extremist view or anything. It's not being unwelcoming to other opinions. But if you can't trade yourself, I don't want you around us. If you can't honor the specifics of New York Institute of Finance, I don't want you with us. That's just it. I don't want lazy guys with us. I don't want people who are hunting the internet for the right answers. I don't want that. I want guys who can show up and girls who can show up and trade. It's awesome, because there's nothing like it when it's a victory for you. So you originate your trades. You find the specific charts. I want to shout out to Venus. When I say I want to see a chart in the back, it's nice to see your chart work. Nice to see your analytics. And guys, she's just laying waste to the field. We're trading very well this year. Nice to see that. JMac, it's nice to see your chart work in the back. Scotland, I appreciate the few that you've sent up in the back as well. It's nice to see. Appreciate that. Sincerely, guys. When I say that, I just like to see charts. In terms of the preceding on NASDAQ, I'm going to let you know that we are in for a challenge directly in line with, take a look at the chart here on the NASDAQ. Bam, bam. True? Yeah. Where are we at on Solana? Is there anything different in the equation? Not really. Is there anything different at all in the equation? Not really. Right? So we're going to look at equities. We're going to bring it over into crypto. Crypto has better leverage. It just does, guys. It's got better leverage. It's got 24 hours a day. There are no market closes. A lot of reasons why we're involved in crypto, primarily with another good look over at Tesla. It's nothing like, guys, trading Tesla could be a blast. Could be a blast. Trading NVDA could be a blast, right? Man, you know that hot new technology? Yeah, that hot new technology is like reframing the world, AI. Man, I day traded that. It was awesome. Yeah, caught an expanding bottom right at the very lower level here. You wouldn't believe it, man. Yeah, I've been paying attention. I've been doing my homework, paying attention, and boom, bam, I caught the low here. That's some bragging rights. That's good, guys. In terms of NVIDIA, pay attention. You're at a preceding pivot. True? Yes. Tesla is at a preceding, and notice what engaged here. You got it. What happened, guys? What happened? Boom, bam, boom. True? Yeah. In terms of that, you'll note, you've seen many times the last couple of weeks, haven't you? I know you have seen many times where a preceding gap will what? Actually support. You just saw that down here, right? Yeah, you just saw that down here. Fine, fine. Yeah, you did. Okay. So I don't. Yeah, you guys, you can fill in the blanks, right? So nice to see. Boom, bam. Nice to see thus far. Boom, bam. Definite just levels of interest on the equation. Now, we're not here, are we? We're not at an equivalent preceding high. We're just not. But Solana is. Yeah, Solana is at a preceding high. What engaged? Lateral shorts. What engaged on NVIDIA? And within threshold, guys. A lateral short. Yeah, so we've got NVIDIA, the NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ, NVIDIA. We've got, not Tesla, right? Not Tesla. NVIDIA, NASDAQ, and we've got Solana. There may be plenty of others, guys, along the way in lesser alts or cryptos. But looking at the framework, we've got that same dynamic in play. Now, what's the most important thing to recognize off the cuff before, well, are we still going up? That's the ultimate question. I'm going to throw a little bit of a fly in the ointment here. But in terms of this, what is the takeaway? First of all, on Tesla, we've got a green zone. True? Yeah, we got a green zone to the upside. Second of all, on Bitcoin, we have a green zone. Yes, to the upside. True? Yes. Now, on the NASDAQ and NVIDIA and Solana, we have an equivalent lateral short that has engaged. Is the number one thing that has engaged. Meaning what? Meaning if you did not engage a short here, okay, you're what? You're behind the guys who did, the guys and girls who did. Now we discussed this, so I'll lay it on the table like that. Lateral short. Lateral short. If you tried to enter it, it didn't pick up, or you tried to enter it, pushed you out, guys, a larger margins, tighter stop loss is the equation in play. The more, okay, in terms of cash exposure, the tighter the stop loss. And I like to say with leverage as a whole, we enjoy it because what is it? It's a perfect equation for us because it includes the equation, the baseline equation that the higher the leverage, the less amount of money that needs to be put in, right? And there's some distinctions in crypto which just make it a dream to trade instead of equities. That's why we focus on it, guys. You know that. So not to slight the equity traders or anything else like that. You know our frame of reference and our full disclaimers, all that good stuff, guys. I just don't want you guys getting hurt in the market. That's the bottom line. So try and read the fine print and the loud shout outs in terms of proper, let's just say, proper decorum in terms of risk management. You got to go take some New York Institute of Finance classes. Get on it. Go talk to your broker. Do something fun. Now, in terms of this, bam, bam, bam. Oh yeah, loaded. Absolutely loaded. Is that the fly in the ointment? Is that really what we're looking at here on how do we eliminate this question is going to be the issue. As we look at this, I mean, we got another. I mean, come on, Solana. Come on, Solana. We got another. What is this, guys? I mean, that's another 18, 19%. That's a big move. That's a big move. Now, this is going to be, unfortunately, the fly in the ointment. Unfortunately. we are going to have the opportunity. Now, again, what's the question? It's not whether or not you're going to make money in the market, is it? As a matter of fact, it just isn't. Not here. Not here. If I'm over-promising, well, you make me unpromise later. Do whatever you need to. You read all the books we say read and do all the other stuff we say do, and then see if still you are of the opinion that it's not a matter of whether or not you're going to make money, it's just a matter of how much. That's just the question that gets people in trouble the most. That's the question that gets people in trouble the most, is how much can I make? That's it, guys. You know that. This is going to be your fly in the ointment. Now, we're speaking a different language. Ouch. Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. Come on, Solana. No. No. Solana. We don't want, I'm not trading that. You guys trading that? I don't want to trade it. Anybody else want to trade it? No, I mean, I might pick it up here. I might let it ride up to here, but like, this is just like this is a recipe for disaster on the 4 hourly. I can't stand broadening tops. I mean, you have got to be an absolute monster to complete one of these. You guys agree? And I know if I just showed you this specific chart yesterday, I know I got you probably all excited about a 20% move. I know. And it's just a perfect bull flag and bam. And I know now we're parked at the top of just over the top of like a really unfavorable pattern. Now we like broadening bottoms. Let's note this and put it in context. What do we hit on the bottom? We identified and hit on the bottom of, and really it was a sub-expanding bottom here. Boom. Yeah, bam, bam. Okay, with a double reinforcement there included up to the top. We love it. That was NVDA. Understand a broadening bottom is a whole lot different than a broadening top. So in terms of the magic that, Solana is going to bring to the mix today, oh yeah, big time. This is not the magic that we're looking for in terms of the candle wicks we clean up. Yeah, got a differentiation, a bit of a blowout top. We can take that, right? In terms of the classic, we want straight into resistance support, that handoff from bears to bulls to bears to bulls and up and out and boom. Now, what's the solution? You don't have the answer, do you? You don't have the answer. What's the solution? Lateral short. True or false? Lateral short. Let it sink in. The market is being kind enough to allow you to have taken profits here and to have regretted it for about how long? I mean, you were in the dumps. If you just got out of this move, you wanted to lock in your profits for what? 12 hours? Was it maybe 14, maybe 15, 16 hours? And then what? It literally gives you the same move, boom, boom, up on Bitcoin. So this market is an excellent opportunity to reinforce how you're going to operate in the markets. Okay, this is not a sad song, should have done this, should have done. No, this is if you just took action, okay, in line with your risk profile, if you took profits, can it act as an incentive, a non-regretful incentive for you to find the next trade op? Bam, step into it, let's roll. Where can I make the next good move? In a hot market, the people who efficiently do that, the people who efficiently, I'm talking guys, without the regret formula, the FOMO formula, I missed out on this, I did this one wrong. As the market, depending upon the liquidity that you're involved in, and maybe otherwise, is going to be very reactive to your moves. It's a market. It's going to be reactive to your positioning, period. By default, it is a market. The larger your position sizes go, the more reactive it's going to get, particularly with lower liquidity. So I'm just going to encourage you, given this struggle here, to get into our green zone. I'm interested in Tesla like no tomorrow, but I'm interested in this hot zone. That's when we got interested here. How was this right up? Don't even ask about it. Don't even ask about it. Record setter wasn't from here to here. Record setter was from here to here. With different dynamics below, I'm fine from here to here. But if we're going to have some compromise targeting to the upside and downside, I like the green zone. Okay? Now, again, roll into, stay positive. Boom, boom. Yeah. Okay, where's your next trade op? That opportunity we're looking for. What's that next trade opportunity? We say op is shorthand. Okay? So, and what was, you guys know, the real key differentiator was our specific expansion. Bam. You got that on Bitcoin? Without a doubt. Nicely done. Nice recovery. We see this so frequently. Sometimes we have to wait and wait and wait and wait. But we just got back up there in a hurry. Nice to see it. Huh? Lateral pickup. Boom, boom. You got it. Now, On Solana. So the answer to the question is what? What we've been referring to, incorporate it. Now, don't incorporate it with regret. Don't pull the trigger. Well, I got to pull the trigger now. But I want you to recognize how good this market has been in that there's literally barely any time to really regret any kind of a profit-taking opportunity. What have we got below us? We have a discernible level of interest, true? We have a discernible level of interest, don't we? So I want you to incorporate the day before you start asking the question again of, are we going up or are we going down? That's the wrong question on Solana. Do we have more of a target to the upside? Sure, sure. However, what is the answer that you're looking for? Bam, 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 bam. Okay? Whatever you need to do to effectuate this being a part of the solution that you're looking for this morning, you need to make sure this happens. Okay, on the next trade that you do, you need to make sure that a lateral cover on your profits at or above underlying margin, bam, bam, bam. Imagine you're sitting in extra profits, not concerned about a lower specific target. Beautiful, right? And you're gonna have a cut loose here, bam, on the short, ideally, if she wants to play nice. And she could get trappy here, okay? But this is your solution you're looking for. Apply this, guys, on Bitcoin. Apply this on anything you're looking at. And if you missed this lateral, we've mentioned it enough. So it's again, what is this market? It's good right now because we can get thrown into a situation. It's like, well, we have a downside and upside target. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to take my profits. And then bam, within a number of hours, you're in the same situation. You're in the same situation, have the same exact move on Bitcoin following up on the coattails of Tesla. There's no harm, no foul, no loss, no love loss, guys, on the market. You're doing great. You're doing fantastically well, right? So we're at a preceding, and this is a good time to reinforce this because where are we at on the NASDAQ? Well, we're at a preceding lateral short, okay? Preceding lateral short. Where are we at on NVDA? We hit into a preceding lateral short. So where are we at on Tesla? On Tesla, we hit into a preceding lateral short. If you did not put in orders, it's because you looked at this. You said, I just don't want to short. I just don't want to short it. I'm only going long. I don't want to enter in with a potential higher level of margin, tighter stop loss. It was direct on point 100%, right? Right. So instead of you assessing a higher profit equation even right now that you're looking at, you're dependent upon the direction. True? Your profits are dependent upon the direction. I don't like to see you in that spot. It's less enjoyable. It's less enjoyable. My goal is to have you enjoy the market and enjoy your profits from the market. So if I see an opportunity continually and it's reinforced across the market, the breadth of the market, and I can see that this is going to provide you with more enjoyment and more profits in the market, literally, you're going to be calmer, cooler, more collective, everything, and you're going to have additional profit, not just to cover, you could have additional profit at this level. Don't look at this chart and not see a short. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't do it, guys. Don't look at this preceding and not see a short. Don't look at this preceding and not see a short. They got what stopped out? No worries. No worries, right? Just don't do it. Don't look at the preceding and not see a short. I'm telling you, don't look at the preceding and not see a short. Don't look at the preceding, and you got stopped out. Preceding, short, boom. It's a tactic. Engage in the tactic. Make it yours. But we're going to continue to talk about it as it maintains its relevance on NVIDIA, on the NASDAQ, on everything that we do, guys, on everything that we do in the markets, because I want you guys I want you to go get it now. Momentum. Solana momentum is what? We are positive on, guys, about 80% of the specific timeframes. Now, if you miss the top short, what is your alternative? Now, this is where things get trickier. You guys will agree why. Because you caught this move, bam, you're already up. True? Yes. And now you're saying, well, the problem is I have a larger entry. Challenge yourself. What do you need to be able to execute a larger entry here? What do you need to develop personally to be able to execute a larger entry here? It's a question for you, not for me. What do you need to be able to execute a larger entry here? If you missed your short, reinforce the same question to yourself and don't ask it to yourself and not answer it. What do you need to develop? Okay, what do you need to further refine? What do you need to achieve other than looking at something that says buy and sell on it? That's not what I'm talking about, guys. Nope, we have them, but that's not what we're talking about. Is an indicator set, and I just want to double click, and all of a sudden I got my buy and sell labels on. Is that what we need? No, that is not what we need. We got a short here, we got a long here, we got a long, a short, a long, great. We got a short here, we got a long, a short, a long, a short. This is on Solana. Does it look like it made money? I'd say it looks like it made some cash. Yeah, a little bit choppy, and then, okay, we got another, it's gonna tell us what to do. No, guys. That's part of the story, okay? That's part of the story. The rest, the real equation is your ability to execute into the market over under a specific line. This will differentiate you between whom? Everybody's going to get involved in the market at some point. Most people will get involved in the market. They are sold something, a great new investment idea from some story they've heard, and they've decided it's going to go up. Now, what percentage of the people are continuing to do that in the markets? They're buying and they're deciding that something is going to go up. All right. The difference that we're going to make is that we're going to decide to own something at a specific price level. We're going to decide to own, okay, if we were to own, let's say Solana at $64. Great. Let's say that we decided to own Solana, and we did here, then we $56.50. Is that good? I think $56.50. You guys can check me on that. But we decided to own Solana at 56. We'll just call it 56.40. They're about 56.50, 56, something along those lines. So we decided to own this here, not above breakout. We wanted to own Solana up and over 56.50. Okay. Now, the question is going to be the following. As you look at a 12, 13% move overnight, that's great. Yeah? Great. Nice move, huh? You still worried about that Tesla trade? I don't think so. Now you're a little bit more patient to get involved in that green box, right? Yeah, we got that licked, huh? Yeah, next, hashtag next, right? We get on with it. Now, what is it going to take for you to be able to reapply this same framework? And this is the best challenge in the market. You separate yourself from literally 99% of the people in the markets, guys, who are just buying something and deciding, well, it's going to go up. I heard it's going to go up. It's going up. Right. Okay, good. Who told you that? Oh, the guys who bought real low. Good for them. CNN, great. Best advertising service on the planet for people who bought low. You couldn't recreate a CNN or a CNBC to advertise your product when you buy low. They will sell it to everybody for you. They will sell it to every dumb buyer in the world for you. When you watch the news, CNBC or Bloomberg, and they're selling your product and you bought it so low nobody wanted it, and you're just watching everybody in the room get excited about going in and buying it now, you're like, oh man, I couldn't recreate this. I could spend $1 billion trying to put together an advertising network that would achieve what CNBC and CNN and Fox News are doing right now with a new all-time high when you've bought it low. When you watch that process in play, it's like, man, we could spend decades putting together an advertising network, and they're just doing it all for us, right? So, differentiating yourself in terms of 56.50. Yes, nice move. You got it. Up currently 10.46%. Nicely done. Copy. Now, what's the issue? What will it take for you to be able to own this at, and don't go up just because I do that, and to own this at $62? What kind of additional framework? If you need a reset, what type of an additional framework would it take for you to own this at $62? $61.80. Let's say $62. Let's tie this in with the preceding level of resistance. Deal? It's engaged. But what would it take for you to say, no. This was sweet. 10% overnight. That's great. That's like 5 times my money on a decent position. Bam. I'm looking for, ideally, the candle wicks versus the lines on the 4-hourly to work out in terms of the move to the upside. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking for an additional, I want to max this baby out. Boom. I mean, come on. Come on, Solana, right? We've got an additional, I've got an additional 18%. That's almost 9, 10 times my money based upon my investment. Yeah, let's go, let's go. However, what is it going to take for you to become consistently good at the deployment of capital you had here and recognizing that you had a 10% move from here, that you have a 9% move here. We were to retest the bottom, you got an 18% move. That is sweet. We all agree. 18%. The bulls want the $74, $73.50, right? The bears are all about trapping in some sort of a range function here. And I'm just going to reiterate, and it's a question for you to answer and that we can continue to explore, is what would it take for you to own this long or short at $61? Now, if I pull this over on into, let me do this the right way. You guys want to do it the right way? That was not a guesstimate, but let's look at NVDA hitting into what? Lower pro line on the hourly. Nice, nicely done. NVIDIA lower pro line on the hourly. Golden short on the 4 hourly. Nice to see action. What's our level to hold? Ice cold short on the weekly. You got it. Now, if we go into, and shout out to Venus, nice to be trading with you. Nice to be building with you in 2023. Trying to set some records. Let's look at the, okay guys, let's look at Solana real quickly. Remind me to change my chart back. I hate doing this because I always forget to reset my chart. Let me do this, then I'll wind up with different named things on different, I make a mess of it somehow. The double click, I don't like to do it. But if you double click on it, it'll change all of these. I wind up with like 15 different templates named all different types of things that are irrelevant. Now, for hourly in play, let's look at this on Solana. Ice cold short, hourly. Let's just review real quickly and see what we need to flip, what we need to hold. So as we look at a baseline consideration for hourly, 62.45, no problem. 62.45, long or short. You want to call it and you want to refer to the 4 hourly, you can. We've been discussing this for months, right? Target to the upside over the 4 hourly, target to the downside under the 4 hourly, right? And you can walk it down from there, from the 6 hourly, immediately trying to, if you want to become more immediately aggressive and deploy your specific set, 6 hourly, top band, okay, 6 hourly top band. As we were to just note the weekly top band on Solana has acted as what? Level of support, boom. See that top Bollinger Band? Boom, beautifully well done. Beautifully well done. So look at this action. So excited that we've been focusing on Solana. Let's take a look at this. This is a little bit reminiscent, isn't it? Monthly, bam. What did we just get into on this? We were doing this yesterday on Tesla. True? Yes. Monthly, hurdle, Solana? Yes. You want to flip it? Remember when we were here? Before you get into additional complications, remember when we were here? Yeah. What's that, guys? It's 80%. Yeah? Nice move. Boom, boom. Yeah. Nice move on Solana. So monthly, noted. And this is the right level of interaction that we're going to have with the markets in terms of the technicals. Go 8 to 10 wide, whatever you can, and really dig into the details. So Tesla did this yesterday to us on the, what was it, the weekly, guys? Nearly on the weekly. Let's look at the monthly. It was a far way out. It was the daily, okay? Daily here, right? Now we did flip. It's a good example. Tesla, we did flip this, which pushed yesterday, and we flipped over, and we're using this as support, okay? Now, on the specifics as it would apply to something like Solana, we have flipped the weekly. If we plan to flip the monthly, that's going to be a ride, and you're going to need 2 weeks to do it technically, or you're just going to blast up through this, okay? If we take the same transition parameters from Tesla and from, just say from Tesla, okay? Agreed? So if you're game to trade it, If you're game to trade it, you can hold right as of now 62.45. If you want to, more of a round number or something along those lines, there's no problem. You can call it $62 over under, and you can look at Bitcoin that's positively postured here. Okay, with the bears excited about hitting on resistance, they just are. But with what? The same dynamic in play, and I'm just excited to have the chance to talk to you. Wherein the question is, well, it's not about whether or not you're going to make money; it's just a question of how much. And the solution, along with a lateral hit on short. Copy, you guys got that. Lateral hit on shorts. That's it, guys. Is what? Is pre-deployment, redeployment of the rationale, at least in terms of your structuring into your trades. Do you have a flash carry? Do you have a trade that carries for a day? Do you have a trade that carries for a week? Do you have a trade that carries for a month? Do you? If not, you chose not to get those. If you have just one trade and you're going to hold on to just one trade and everything is directionally dependent, market becomes a lot less fun. We agree? When it's stressful, man, if you take the stress out of it, it's like, I've got a trade for the next month if I want it. I've got a trade for the next week if I want it. I've got the trade for just a day if I want it. I'm going to cash out of the one today, no problem. I'm going to let the one for the week and the month run. You'll get there. You'll be fed up enough at some point with having to hassle with whether or not it's going to go up or whether or not it's going to go down, and you'll get there. I just know you will, because I know you guys and gals. A bit of a dynamic on Bitcoin, just to reinforce a bit of a internal channel line there. And what is our? If we look at the, let's look at this in terms of Tesla. Tesla just rocking and rolling, continuing to rock and roll. Defying gravity, rising wedge here. You're just not going to find me as too big of a fan of a rising wedge. If you guys are still rocking and rolling with it, congratulations. Congratulations. A bit of an inflection point overall in the market has some wary eyes looking. With the NASDAQ at a preceding pivot, not to say cut everything loose. What I'm going to say is enjoy the market. Don't let anything turn your stomach. Don't let anything cause you two seconds of regret. Because I'll tell you, I can show you a 2%. Listen up, guys. I can show you 2%. I can literally take you over to a different chart. If you miss the 2%, you're never going to forget it. But I can literally show you 5 times that amount. And not only 5 times that amount, I can literally show you, this is to be noted heavily in terms of the psychology. I can literally, guys, show you 2% versus 10%. I can also show you the ability to structure in, guys, let's say 5 times or more, let's say at least twice the amount of leverage on top of the 5 times the actual return today. So I can increase the amount of leverage you can get involved in. I can increase the actual return basis, and you'll still have a negative reaction when you see this up, and this is 2%. It's the nature of a trader. If you can look at it like a calculable formula, if you can see where your time, guys, your efforts and energy may be misplaced in terms of the emotional tie that you have looking at a 2% that you are or are not a part of. If it's immediately replaced with a 10% at more leverage, guys, a higher percentage gain with a higher leverage opportunity. And if you can decrease the risk in that equation with better patterns, you have got to be literally on a different planet to not appreciate that. You've got to be on a different planet. Problem with the market, it'll take you there. It'll be a one-way ticket to another planet. So if you're involved in the 10%, if you're involved in the better pattern, the bull flag, we already got to that green zone. It's what we're looking for, waiting for. Let it sort itself out on Tesla. Let it get into its green zone, okay? And we'll jaw back into it. We'll hammer back into it. Let Bitcoin get into its green zone. All right, let it get up into here and start knocking on the door of opportunity as Tesla did. Bum, 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 bam, right? And in the meantime, if you didn't hit your lateral short, make sure you just put your orders in. Put your orders in. Cover your stress. And don't do it late. I'm hopping in now, and now I'm short, now I'm up, and now. Don't do it then. Get it when it's on the lateral. It's just an order. You literally have to push some buttons. You have to decide not to want, you have to decide that you don't want to do it. So, do we have upside? Of course we have upside. What needs to turn around? I mean, it becomes conditional upon, guys, upon a lack of confirmation. The hourly needs to turn over. Right? Key thresholds that we have immediately nearby, we'll just call it, because Solana is a nice mover right now. Nice mover right now. We have a 4-hourly standard deviation. We have a daily standard deviation. Okay, so those are deviations. Let me go back to this while we do this kind of on the fly. I want to shout out to all of the VIP. Hope you're doing well this morning. Great trade week, Q4, incoming with power. Huh? With power. Take the market by storm. You guys got that right. Take the market by storm, 2023. Yeah, baby, what's up? Nicely done. Bravo to all you guys. You've done a great job. Biggest element of concern, aside from the 4-hourly and that expansion, the broadening top, is going to be what? Going to be the monthly. We agree? Let's just talk about the biggest threat to freedom for the bulls to move up is going to be the specific monthly top side standard deviation. Can we power up and through it? No, we don't have much in the form of additional back testing, just due to how, and actually we may have more or not. I need to check the back testing or the prior history of Solana. I don't believe we have more than this, but I can look on another chart and update you guys in the back. So we have this same issue that was presented to you yesterday. You have made money, congratulations. And what's the ultimate question? Is it enough? If you can wake up every day with that problem, I salute you. That is a way to do it. Guys, this is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trade. Let me see who's in the chats. Thank you for all the credible TA. Hey, thank you, Venus. I appreciate that. Excited to be building with you. Thank you, Venus. Yo, Venus and I, we're taking it on, huh? We really are. It's nice to see. It's been easy, huh? Right on. It's been easy, right, Venus? Of course, it's been easy. What do you got, Luke? I have to head out of the pit now. London, I'll catch up with you the rest of the stream when I get service again. Awesome. Thanks, Luke. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that very much. And J-Mac in the house, California in the house. Nice to see all you guys, as always. So now this is not going to be something, I don't want to do that. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to give you a mid-level line that if you want to own it at 62, own it at 62. Okay? Long. If you're already long, you're fine. The issue that we're going to look at is at some point, do you want to make this your green zone? Okay. Do you want to leave it alone until you get to your green zone? And would you be short until you got into your green zone? I.e., a rejection hit expectation here, given the entirety of the market? These are some different questions, guys. The quicker you are, the quicker you have the ability to execute, et cetera, you're going to get into some different solutions when you have a better ability to execute into the market. Okay? So when you remove some of the hurdles that you have in operating in the market with technological means or otherwise, you know, if you could put hook a supercomputer up that's just going to help you with everything, okay, well, that would help. Right. Some of these difficulties can be solved. You're not the only one who's had difficulties with execution or otherwise. Let's just talk about a perfect world scenario with an upside target. Let's talk about a perfect world scenario with an upside target. Let's do it. Hold on one second. Let's go ahead. Boom, boom, and okay. Let's say we have another 15% post breakout. Okay, and let's say from the current price, we got another 17%. We're at the same point that we were yesterday. We're being offered money. Yes. Now, if you can and want to make this green zone your own it zone up and over 63, call it $64. If you can execute long over $64, and you're getting this down pretty well, you're starting to understand the game a little differently. You're seeing what Bitcoin just did, and it's not just about the next pattern. No, it's about the next, you guys are going to get this. It's not about the next pattern per se. It's about owning it. Because when you're in the pattern, what's the problem with the pattern? Well, the bull flag failed. Oh, bad week. Everyone, oh, the bull flag failed. Ah, darn, huh? Well, We almost made some money, right? That would have been great. But if you owned it at 56.60 or 56.50 short under, what'd the bull flag do for you? It failed and it made money. Yeah, so your predisposition, it is a bull flag. It's going to get you thinking up. Having a sectional, a line of relevance here that you're long over, short under. Oh yeah, man, that was awesome. That thing failed. Phew. You see how you're restructuring your mentality around a short and a long. Big time. Let this thing crash. Boom. It was a bull flag. You'll start talking like, it was a bull flag till it busted and paid you well, right? So if you're, and I just like the challenge that you guys are being focused with here and presented with here, the 64. Can you execute a 64? The more practice you get at this, the better, guys. It's just awesome. Can you execute the 64? Oh, yeah, just put $3,400. Wouldn't that be the day? We'll rewind this tape if Solana ever gets to $3,400. I just typed that in. Isn't that interesting? Unlikely. It's a big, big jump, isn't it? That'd be a lot. You'd have to cut some Solana out of the supply, I believe. So if you're looking at the potential for 64, okay, that's not a bad approach. You're going to be up and over this preceding, okay, and this will have just been a consolidation. If you're ready to do it, and you're asking whether or not you should take profits on a 10% ride, and if you know that you can trade either the immediate level of 62, right? If you want to give yourself, I don't want to say give yourself a break. I want you guys to challenge yourself. The bottom line, the first level of interaction that I gave you was just literally a midpoint here. Alternative would be this. I hesitated to bring it up in terms of an up and over. I don't favor it as much, but it would be a segue if you didn't enter into a short here to say, fine, I'm locking in profits, I'm going to forego, and this is the question, the price you pay, your insurance. You're going to pay insurance of 2% on your move, and you're going to pay insurance of what? Any kind of a chop that you get into along the top. Just count it as insurance. I don't want to pay that. It costs me money to go over, under. It's a level of insurance. You're locking in your gain right now. Boom. Do you have another 17%? Yeah. And we will say insurance a lot of times in terms of just locking in your profits, right? We'll say that a lot of times. Of just cut a hedge into it, lock in your profits, no problem. But it's just, I guess, a different level of kind of operational insurance as you're looking at what that cost is for you to get involved, kind of the cost of your operational cost in terms of executing your trades over or under a specific level, right? If you want 2 levels, no problem. If you want to trade the 62, let's just say if you want to trade 62 and you've got 62 and 64, okay. If you wanted another level up here, ideally, you're going to be looking at, let's if you don't want psychological levels, if we were to look at something along the lines of this, let me get into Fibonacci extensions. From the low to the high, back to the low, we're currently just sheltering in place at the 50%, okay? We've got that 100%. These would be some levels to be long over, short under, okay? More precise. So we're not far off on 62. That's 50%. So it seems arbitrary when we discuss it, but preceding high is the level we've marked in green, right? A little bit of a threshold golden pocket up at 65, okay? You might say over 65. Technically, but see how the extensions feed into your over-unders in terms of your targets to the upside, and remind yourself that Bitcoin just hammered down with one of those, and it was a nice drop to catch on that Adam and Eve. True? Yeah. So, good talk today. Bravo. Good. Continuing to move is the market, and it's nice to see you guys with those opportunities. Let's get Tesla up into the green box, and let's see if we can have a heyday up and over it. When she runs, she runs. We don't like the grind necessarily as much. She gets really temperamental, but we do like to day trade. So in terms of Solana, great move. Some other great moves in the market. You guys know that I've been focusing on CAS a little bit. It's like 30%. I have no idea what it is. Rune, old time deal. Just worthless investments. It's up 20%. Worthless investments. I wouldn't pay attention to either one of those. One's up 30%, one's up 20%. Just the worthless investments. Please don't pay attention to them at all. I always tell you guys that. So this is I just keep bringing them to you in the back when they keep going up like 20 and 30%, but that's all right. I really, really like a higher liquidity equation, to be truthful, and one that's going to respond better to you when you hit the entry button and not going to mitigate your ability to enter in with higher levels of margin. What good is it if you can't put more cash into it because it's so volatile, unpredictable, and unstable that it's literally going to kick you around when you try and get into an order on it? It's literally going to hurt your trade game. And so you're looking at 30% of an attraction of a slot machine that you know you should not stop at. You know you should not stop at these slot machines. They are bad for your overall decorum, right? They're bad. They're bad plays, guys. They can be very bad plays. Find the disciplined soul that can go through them and still maintain. It's just, guys, it's, you know, when you're scared to trade into something, come on. You're scared to trade into something? Come on. We went through Tesla all day yesterday in terms of pattern associations. Not one of those. You're afraid to trade into something that's highly liquid and repeatably consistent in terms of patterns? Come on. Watch yourself. Just keep an eye on yourself in terms of what you're doing. Not all that glitters is gold, right? Big time. Focus on your higher liquidity options. And we've focused on you haven't needed anything else other than Tesla, some Matic and some ETH, and that's fine. Bitcoin, of course, we haven't needed much more this year at all. The whole year we haven't needed much more, have we? Really not. Some side trades in practice. Get it on the lower time frames on your key considerables. Okay, learn your considerables. You see the differentiation between Tesla, right, and Bitcoin, and just focus on those. Focus on those as you were to just schedule in your routine. Just make sure that it makes sense, both for you and both internally for you in terms of what you want, and externally, kind of in terms of what the pros would kind of say. And by pros, I mean New York Institute of Finance and Tom Bukowski, that level pro. Okay, Tesla weekly. Possible short incoming, could be 20 moving average. Paying attention on that weekly, right? So we've got some major levels on Tesla that does coincide kind of with this this push up, and what would need to be a monster push. It's going to need to be a monster push into this monthly. Noted, I'm on record. It's going to need to be a monster push into this top band deviation on the monthly. Now, which was this? This was, I have to redo my template or I'm going to forget it. This is the problem I run into. Stream, NVDA. Okay, so this is my 10 setup on NVIDIA. Alrighty. Hourly hit, 20 moving average. We got it. So congrats to everybody who's trading. Let's get in the back. Let's see, what does she want to do right now? What does she want to do? Let's go to the 30-minute. Let's go to the 3-minute. And she's talking to you now, right? That 4 hourly, isn't she? I tell you, she's talking to the traders. You guys hear that all the time, right? I tell you that all the time. Why is she talking to the traders on the 3-minute? She's just making sure that you guys want to power up through a broadening top formation on the 3-minute on Solana, and then on what, guys? And then on the 4 hourly. Dang it. Right? She's just making sure that you're prepared on that 3-minute. She is going to wrestle you to the ground with the fact that you have this unfavorably crafted broadening top formation, which bulls we don't like them. Theoretically, we'll trade them. And just throw some disposable cash into this bottom level, and I guess we'll just let that fly. Yeah, but you guys know, indeed, it's not the top cream of the crop kind of pattern. Can we balance it out with, let's look at this, let's see here. I'm gonna have to rewind, give me 2 seconds. Let me rewind to this. Wix, oh, aren't you talking to us now? Okay. Now, back to Solana. This is what I'm talking about, guys. When you look at confirmation or otherwise, there's just no problem. You're just breaking up and out of a bull flag. You see the discussion that's ongoing? You get it. Why? Because, well, on the lines, it's no problem. Actually, we're just breaking up and out of a bull flag. And then on the candle, she's tapping you on the shoulder and being like, you do understand that you have a broadening top formation here, which is one of the most difficult patterns for bulls to achieve, right? So in line with, oh, no, the oblivious. What is it? Ignorance is bliss. Well, I'm just trading another bull flag right now, up and over and out. Great. She's going to tap you on the back and say, by the way, you know, on the candle wicks, you have this very difficult pattern known as a broadening top, right? Yes. And by the way, if you pay attention to your multiple time frames, you're going to find that on the 4-hourly, okay? Is it ideal? No. Is it supposed to be? Probably not. Can you define a discernible level to own? That is my preference. My preference for you is for you to define a discernible level to own. Over, long, under, short. 62. Can you do it? If you can't do it, figure out what needs to be done for you to be able to do it. Okay, you figure out in your trade game, explain the reasons, potentially write down. Tell me why you can't do it. Let me go maybe to work on some different things that can allow you to do that if you're having problems with it. Okay, let's focus on that level of the solution orientation. It's easy when we can wake up and it's just, well, it's another day and another decision that you have to book in some major profits and go long over, short under. You up for the challenge? Or you just want to hold and sweat it and watch it and you got it? Right? Are you up for the challenge? This is going to ask you if you're up for the challenge. Let's talk a little bit here in a while. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Way to trade. Nice open on New York. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.